Take two. That was good. Okay.
Alrighty, we're back, you guys. Welcome to another episode of Double Dose
Remedies for the Soul.
Here we are. Check-ins. How you feeling?
I am still feeling happy. Trying not to catastrophize.
Okay.
Bro, why is it that as soon as I get some money to be able to travel, planes want to crash?
True.
I do. Okay, I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat real quick. I do feel like there is a certain level of fear mongering that's going around. Like, I do feel like there is a little bit of truth to. She's a mother.
A few moments later.
I'm leaving part of that in, just so you know. I do feel like there is a level of fear mongering going on. I feel like there's some truth to when people say like they're like whoever they are not like wanting us to be so comfortable leaving. But I'm a fucking skedaddle if I want to skedaddle.
I just need some time first. Cause like there was just a plane crash in like Seattle last week. So it is scary. Like it's valid on why there's concerns around traveling and stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's also like, okay, am I gonna let this like make me stay in a house all day?
Yeah. And I already don't like flying. Like
I love flying.
I hate it.
Give me the window seat.
Why? I mean, I want the window seat. Don't get me wrong. But like, and I'm gonna look outside of it because I have faith that if I were to die, I know where I'm going. But like, why are we in this? We just trust that this thing is just going.
We trust cars. There's more car accidents.
Yes.
Than it is airplane accidents. I mean, is the difference is because we're behind the wheel?
No, the difference is that we're on the ground.
I get it.
Because like, I don't even like riding roller coasters. So
I love roller coasters.
See, no, I don't like. When I was a kid,
I just be like, fuck it, like whatever happens, happens.
Nah, when I was a kid, I used to hate the descending of the plane. Like,
yeah, mommy, you saw mom.
12 seconds later.
I don't like the feeling of descending. It's too much. I don't like the feeling that gets in my stomach.
I like the rush, which I like the rush. So.
And that's funny that you like flying because you like to be in control and you're not in control of nothing when you're flying.
I know.
Girl, that's a little too much for me, but how are you doing?
I'm okay. I feel like this week I was very overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. I think I had 2 breakdowns this week.
2 of them?
I did. One of them, I don't even remember. I don't know. Why was I breaking down? See, it's not important, so I shouldn't be breaking down over it. And then another one was just basics, like fucking rent. Why the fuck my rent go up like $400?
$400?
And like, I'm glad, like I'm blessed to have my own place and Asante got her own room and stuff like that, but I'm not happy here. Like, I don't care for this apartment. This was one of those I just need to move type shit.
Right.
And I don't really care. That's why like my goal was to move again this year. But I'm like, paying an extra $400 for something that I don't like doesn't make me happy. I'm not like in love with this place. Mm-hmm. It was one of those let's just move type stuff. So it kind of stressed me out to have the rent increase, and I'm like, why am I paying that much for a place that I'm not like head over heels for?
Yeah.
My last place I had, I was way bigger. Like Asante also had her own bathroom. We had our own and stuff like that. I just didn't care for having upstairs neighbors because they were loud as fuck. And like, if you know me, my anxiety is horrible. So like when I was stressed out every day, like ready to pull my hair out because of the stomping and stuff, that was one of the main reasons why I needed to go. And here, like, it was just like a quick. So like, I just kind of broke down because I was like, what the fuck I'm paying extra for? And I don't even like this place.
400 extra doubloons is crazy though.
Bro.
And I'm over here complaining because mine went up like 60.
Bro, I wish. I was like, y'all ain't even worth an extra 400, just being honest. But I think what it is that they built those 2 places in the back, those are new. They just built them a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm paying that off for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, so
Damn.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get the fuck on.
Yeah.
So that's,
Yeah.
that's my week. I'm okay. I'm better. No more breakdowns. So yeah.
But if you do, that's okay. Everybody needs a little breakdown every now and then.
Soft.
You can't spend your life hard-bodied.
It is what it is.
But yeah, okay, so today we are going to be discussing gender roles.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun! Okay, I know there is lots of discourse surrounding gender roles.
Yeah.
First and foremost, do you believe in gender roles?
Yes and no. I don't believe in like the basic male do this, women stay at the house, etc. I do believe in each relationship the gender roles look differently. They're going to like have to adapt to the relationship. Although I don't know, it's very iffy.
I feel the same way because I feel like there are certain things that should be happening. Let me preface what I'm about to say by saying I am biased against men. I have to accept that about myself. My name is Tiara, and I don't like men. So, that being said, I feel like there are things that should be happening as a man, but don't tell me what to do as a woman. I know how that sounds. Don't get in the comments talking to me. But, like, okay, I feel like if I have a man in my life, I don't need to be taking out the trash.
Yeah, because that's basics. Like,
right.
Even like growing up, like the boys, well, I don't know if this for every household, but the boys did the trash or clean the toilet and stuff, and the girls do the other stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's basics. I feel like I agree with that. Now, if we were a stay-at-home, like if I was a stay-at-home mom or you a stay-at-home wife, do you still feel like you shouldn't be taking out the trash?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do still feel that way. But I don't know. It's just like, okay, last night I was at my friend's house and she's dating someone new, and she was talking about how it's appealing to her that he knows how to like fix things. So like the audio, like some audio thing in her car wasn't working. So he was like, what kind of car do you have? Like researching it for her, and was like, oh, okay, when I come, I'm going to fix it.
Yeah.
That's very appealing to her.
Yeah.
It's also very appealing to me. I like when a man does man things and like you fix things and you do the dirty work or whatever.
Yeah.
But if I was a stay-at-home mom, I feel like I would do everything but take out the trash. Like, he can take out the trash when he gets home.
See, no, I agree. I feel like there's certain things that a man should just do, right? Only because, like, I like knowing that you could do certain things. Even, like, cooking. You don't have to cook because I actually enjoy cooking. Stay out of my kitchen. But I still want to know, like, you're willing to do those things. But me, I'm also the type of person, if it's not done on my time, I'm just like, I'm going to get it out the way.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to like gender roles or what a man or a woman should do, I just feel like if you know your woman, you should be able to handle things before she feels like she has to do everything on her own.
Yes. Okay. Because there do be like memes on the internet about like, oh, if your girl asks you, can you do this when you get a chance? That means do it right now.
Yeah. And then 2 seconds later, you see,
right, you got a ladder going across. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But like, here's where the gender roles for me are like blurry. Like, if I were to say I believe in gender roles, I like fixing things.
Yeah.
I like building things. Like, I grew up, my dad is a constructor. My dad he works in construction.
Yep.
So like, I grew up watching him build things. He made me watch him, and that became like our bonding time. And so now I really love building things.
Yeah.
So if we like buy a dining table, I'm gonna want to put it
You're gonna
together.
wanna-
That's fun for me.
And that's the thing with like gender roles, right? In that aspect, it's a collaborative partnership. It's not a she does this, he do that, because I'm the same way. But like, I love building and putting things together mainly because my anxiety. So building and putting things together actually helps with my anxiety. I'm the same way. Like my anxiety basically gets the best of me. So with me, building and like putting stuff together actually soothes me. And then also I just like seeing the finished product. So like when it comes to building stuff, that's something I want to enjoy together. When it comes to cooking, I cook, you wash the dishes. So I'm more so like collaborate. It's a partnership. It's not a one person do one, the other do another, because I feel like it makes the relationship more difficult at times because it's easy to dismiss like one another. Like I feel like it's easy for somebody to be like, you're incapable of doing this if you're just so used to doing X and you've never done Y, you know? So I feel like you have to leave wiggle room in the relationship to both like collaborate on stuff.
I feel like it would lead to like if one person was always doing one thing, like unless you really like you enjoy cooking, so like that's not a burden to you. But like if one person is always doing one thing, I feel like it could lead to like perceiving an imbalance in the relationship, and it's like, well, I'm always doing this, and so I'm carrying more of the weight in this relationship, and blah 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 blah. So like, gender roles can get real sticky.
It can, but also that goes into effect like what works for you has to work for you. Because I remember when we was in grad school, we were learning about the different dynamics, right? And of course, a lot of us now in this day and age, a lot of women are like, oh, I'm not about to just sit still and you're going to tell me X, Y, Z. But there still are relationships that functions perfectly fine with that. So even though we may disagree with it in our personal life, if it actually works for a relationship, like who are we to say like change it?
That's true.
I just am strong on whatever works for you. Don't go pushing it on nobody else. Like I'm very strong on that. And I think like a lot of times that's probably hard with like when people are dating and stuff, is because a lot of men is like a woman should do X, Y, Z, but they don't want to do the other and the ABC part. And so I think that's the hard part when it comes to gender roles. How do you find the person you're aligned with and is comfortable with doing all those things while you're comfortable with doing the other?
I feel like that's the same as like how do you find somebody who's aligned with you in any way? Like you just gotta trial and error. You just gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
But like I do like when men participate in men business. I like when you build things. I like when you fix things in particular. Yeah, I do. Okay, so as therapists, if we are working with a couple and, you know, they're having difficulty, say they believe in traditional gender roles.
Okay.
And the man is like, well, she's not cooking and she's not, you know, raising the kids well and whatever. And if he's just like a man who believes that I bring home the bacon, that's it.
Yeah.
And you need to do everything else. How do we deal with that? And in turn, she's like, boy, you're not helpful. You're not, you know. I feel like a lot of men want a woman to step into her like feminine energy and like be a caretaker and all that good stuff. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But like, if I'm going to step into my feminine caretaker energy, you have to bring the masculine caretaker energy.
And that's the thing. So like if I'm a therapist in that perspective, of course I'm going to have to put my feelings to the side. But also like when we talk about differentiation, right? What was it, Bowen or whatever? like they definitely have different needs, and they probably grown up with like different roles that contribute to their relationship, right? So she's basically voicing something in therapy that's totally different from what she's probably has voiced previously, for him to be under the impression that we have this arrangement. You know, maybe it is that she's more soft spoken and don't know how to speak up on her own, but like I feel like my role would then be highlighting the differences, right? Because they're not going to, not staying on those differences, because they could do that on their own. You think this way, this, I think that way, but it's going to be highlighting and coming to like, okay, well, what are our needs?
Yes.
Right? Because right now it's a lot of like, this person wants this, he wants to stay, but he also don't like how you're raising kids and XYZ, but she's saying this, right? So focusing on one thing at a time, and open them up to change, right? Because a lot of the times that we grow as we grow as individuals, we grow in our relationships too, and maybe those roles that they previously had is no longer a fit for who they are today, right? So psychoeducation on different roles or collaborative approach or parenting styles and helping them with that will be easier. And then sometimes even starting from the bare basics of like the nitty gritty of defining exactly what you need. And it might sound so childish, like, oh, my friend could just ask me that. But sometimes like you don't say it to your partner. So let's literally get down. What are you lacking? What are you missing?
Come on, therapist. That was a whole treatment plan right there. That degree did something.
Look.
I love that. But yeah, I agree. Okay, so like when I think about gender roles, like we said in our first episode, this was the purpose of why we spent time defining who we were and the mindset that we were coming with, because we are both heterosexual. But we also realize that there are more, there are more genders on the spectrum than just male, female. There are more sexualities out there. So like if we're not talking about quote unquote traditional male female dynamic, I feel like it leads to more of a collaborative nature, because it's like neither of us are this one thing. So like we're forced to like bend the gender roles or like break them all together. And it's like we don't define who's cooking and who's taking out the trash. Like we just both do everything. And I feel like we as unfortunate heteros can learn something from that.
That's true.
Like even though I subscribe to gender roles in
A few moments later.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do think like we could learn a lot from that. Also, it makes me think about the whole dynamics of like who makes more. Do like you feel like a woman making more money than a man creates like an imbalance or a what is that, like a lack of confidence in the man?
I feel like it can. Just I don't feel like it should. But I feel like it can and often does. And I can sit here and say like it shouldn't, but I don't know how exactly we get away from that concept of like a man should be making more than a woman.
That's because of gender roles,
right? Because I've just been subscribing to them for so long, like, and having to unlearn that, I'm just like, I don't know what the alternative looks like. So like, even though like at this age, I feel like women are making more money than men because we have more of the higher education degrees. So that opens us up to more opportunity than them, even though there is still like a pay imbalance when it comes to like
women and men.
Right. So
the glass ceiling.
Right. There's a glass ceiling for women. And I don't know. That's so hard to unlearn. I feel like, yes, men can definitely feel inferior if they're not making as much money as the woman. Because even like right now, I'm making more money than my partner. But like, and I literally the other day, I was talking to him about my budget. Like, I have a budget spreadsheet, and I put money away in different places every paycheck. So like, I was telling him about putting the money away, but I didn't want to tell him how much I was putting away, because I don't know, I just feel like we're not at the stage yet where we need to be sharing finances. But I would be lying if I didn't say a huge part of that was not wanting him to know how much I make, because I make so much more than him. And so like, I didn't, and it wasn't because like, the whole conversation wasn't because I just don't want to share how much money I have. It was also because like, honestly, I didn't want to like embarrass him. Even though I don't feel like there's anything you need to be embarrassed about, because you're still like pursuing your degree and everything like that. But I don't know, I just felt like if I said the number out loud, he would feel some type of way.
And that's because we're so like subscribed to like societal rules where women have to make less than the man. So we automatically assume that if you tell him XYZ, he's going to feel a certain way, but he's may not, because he's not trying to subscribe to the gender roles. And also, he also is aware that you are in a different stage of your career and stuff than he is. He is still pursuing. So if anything, it may be a motivational factor. Now, I feel like it is totally different if like you have someone who, if the male is like very comfortable where they're at in life, and they're not making much or doing much, but they're like comfortable and lacking motivation, and you are like trying to achieve milestones and get stuff done. I feel like, and this is my personal opinion, that in that aspect, they may feel some type of way if you tell them how much money you make, as opposed to somebody who's trying to get where you're going.
And on that note, let's talk about falling in love with potential.
You can't. It happens a lot.
It happens women.
A whole lot
for women,
because you see more in the partner than they see in themselves, and then it also goes to that caretaker nurturer role, and then it's just, well, they could become so much, because I think I've done it. I think a lot of people have done it, and it's just like, it feels like it's so close, but you can't grab it, which makes you like, I don't want to walk away because it's right there.
But so I have been in a relationship where like, I was absolutely in love with potential. But the difference was, you can be in love with potential and a person be like striving for something, like you have a plan, you're on your way. I don't necessarily feel like that's being in love with potential. I feel like you're just there while they're grinding it out. They're still working on it. What I feel like falling in love with potential is when that person is satisfied where they are, they're not really trying to go anywhere, and you're like, it's not even that you see something in them that they don't see in themselves. You want something for them that they don't want for themselves.
Yes.
So it's like, I'm not a person who, as an anxious person, I don't like not knowing what's going on. So like, I was dating an artist. I can't date artists. I can't. He was a music artist. I can't date music artists because that's too unsteady of a paycheck. I don't know where your check is coming from. And he always used to be like, if I were to get $1 million contract today, this afternoon, would that make you feel better? No, because that $1 million is going to have to go right back into your album or whatever the hell you're going to be working on. No, it would not make me feel better. What would make me feel better is if you had multiple streams of steady income. Multiple, because even if me and you have steady jobs right now, we could get laid off tomorrow. We have to have multiple streams of income. That's just the responsible thing to do these days. Yeah. And so I so badly don't want to live a life of struggle. I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. That's not the life that I'm meant for. Yeah. I'm meant to slide the card and, praise God that it goes through.
And then I also think just when you're dating the person, you're dating their career too, if that makes sense, because you're oftentimes the person they're going to come home to and vent about. So like, if you're honestly tuned out of what they're doing or don't really care or have that level of understanding, it's not going to make it easier too. It's going to make it a little bit harder, in my opinion, to motivate them to like reach for the stars if you don't even care for what they're doing.
And that's how I found myself. I did not care about what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And like I was actually like, not only do I not care, I want you to stop talking to me about this.
Yeah, you was checking out.
Yeah, and that was the only thing he was passionate about. And I was like, yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah. Okay, question. So what is it still reaching for potential if you guys have already gotten to the point of happiness or like steady income or whatever the case may be, whatever you're thriving for, you guys got there and it kind of fell down and you're still holding on? Are you are you still holding on for potential because you're trying to get back there, or are you just holding on to something that it happens in relationships where it's like, okay, people fall off or whatever? You get what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm describing it well.
Do you mean fall off like career wise?
I feel like money is a huge issue in a lot of relationships. So if you guys started off in that point where you were stable, going on dates or getting what you want and like didn't have to worry about that, and then the money fell off, and now like maybe you're the one who's now has all the money and like it's becoming a problem and stressful and stuff, right? Are you still holding on to the potential of getting back to point A?
I feel like if there were to come a point when once my partner was the breadwinner and he was in charge of, all the finances and whatnot, and then I had to be, I feel like there would then need to be a shift in like,
for how long is this going to be?
That. But like, I feel like there are definitely more ways that you can contribute to a relationship than finances, even though finances tends to be the number one conversation. I feel like you would then have to contribute heavily in other ways.
Yeah.
So like, if I'm bringing in the money, I then need you to like pick up some slack in other areas. Like, make sure that I don't have to like come home and to like a filthy house or like, but I also feel like we kind of rely too much on money to make our relationship seem like what it should be, if that makes sense. Like, if we don't have money, we feel like we can't leave the house, we can't go nowhere, but like you can still go on a picnic, get some sandwiches and some fruit or whatever.
It has to bring a different side of you out, right?
Yeah, a more creative, a more intentional side.
See, but that goes back into the gender roles. How you said like, okay, if I have to, as a female, become the breadwinner now, I need you to make like kind of tend to my needs a little bit more, right? We also have to make sure the man is comfortable enough with doing that, right? In my talking about what like women have to do, like I feel like we also lay the platform down for allowing them to feel vulnerable enough to even be like, I'm not making this much money, what can I do, right? And then secondly, like being comfortable enough to show us that there's more to it than just money, because like you said, like they're so used to like holding on to money, or relationships are usually found on like the financial hardships or the lack thereof, right? So I feel like there has to be a level of comfort and vulnerability you have with your partner to be able to have that conversation of there's a shift in our relationship. Now I need this. XYZ.
I feel like that also heavily depends on like your personalities, because I feel like if you're a person who is capable of bending those gender roles, if you subscribe to them when you need to be with a person who is mutually comfortable doing that as well.
1000%.
So like you can't, that's kind of like I don't subscribe to feminism. Feminism has never aided in the help of Black women. I think more womanism aligns with Black womanhood. But if I propose myself to be a womanist, I then can't be with like a he-man woman hater. Like, you have to be comfortable, if the roles were to switch that way, cleaning up, cooking dinner, if we have children, getting them ready and off to school or ready for bed or whatever.
You have to be comfortable within yourself too, to be able to like, okay, the roles have shifted, but this doesn't make me less of a person. If anything, like, it's going to show that you can make it through trials and tribulations. But even if the income was there on both sides, I personally still need you to contribute to the household in cleaning, in raising the children, in doing whatever I do. I want to share those, and I don't want somebody whose pride is so high they feel like they're above certain things.
Yes, that's like it's always so interesting to me when okay, say you have a child and a couple has a child and the woman is out like with her friends or whatever and no child, and everybody's like, oh, is the dad babysitting? No, he's being a father.
Yeah,
he's not you're not babysitting your own kid. You're watching the child. I don't like when people use babysitting when the father is watching them. It's like, It implies that it's not part of his regular
norm.
Yeah. But it's like I didn't spawn this child by myself. Like, you need to watch him sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, I don't.
Neither here or there.
Neither here nor there. I mean, it's so hard. I would like to say that I don't believe in gender roles, but like, I really do. I would be kidding myself if I didn't say that. But I'm not so like within the straight lines of those gender roles that I'm like, oh, I'm never taking out the trash. I will take it out.
I think it's like, the basis, right? I think everyone start from the basics of what we're taught. That's our like foundation is the gender roles. Then we dismantle it and shape it to what works for us. It's just what we know. Sometimes in order to build up, you have to start from something that you know.
That's true.
And so we start from the basic gender roles and we figure out what works and what doesn't.
But I feel like more than just like subscribing to gender roles, like the act of you taking out the trash, the act of you fixing something, it's more about you took something off of my plate than like you just did what a man is supposed to do. It's about the act of service.
Exactly.
Rather than like, as a man, and I feel like we get lost in that, and it's like
to each other needs.
Exactly, and we both have needs, and so as long as those needs are met, no matter who's doing what, there just needs to be an equal balance. And it's also important to note that it's not always going to be equal. Each person is not going to be able to give their half of the 100%, Sometimes it's going to be, the 80-20 rule. Sometimes I just got 20 today and you got to fill in the other 80, you know? So, and we have to be okay with that. So
you have to be okay with like what you choose, what you and your partner choose, because no one else is in that relationship except you. Right. And then like, we also have to steer back or take a step back from like watching other couples, whether that's on social media, whether that's like even couples we think we know within our immediate circle, family, friends, like everybody's relationship dynamic is different. So you truly have to like sometimes take a sit back, reflect, what do I need? What do I want? And if it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah. And that's a really good point, because like, much like social media, people show you what they want to be seen.
1000%.
Like, they're not going to show you when that nigga's getting on my nerves. Like, I'm not gonna put that on social media. I'm gonna show you when we're out looking good at a nice dinner and not when we're fighting. But like when celebrity couples, let's take it to a grand scale. So when celebrity couples break up, everybody's like, oh, I thought they were so happy.
They're human. Shit happens.
Like,
they just got better skills at hiding it. Because they need to hide it.
If Sierra and Russell were to break up tomorrow, niggas would be shocked. Would nobody be asking for Sierra's prayer no more?
Exactly.
Like, but we don't know what's going on in their relationship. God forbid any of that be happening. I hope they're happy, but like, we don't know for real. And just like we don't know about them, you don't know about your best friend's relationship. You might not really know what's going on there. So like, comparison is the thief of joy.
So with that being said, goes into our next segment.
Resources.
So given that we're dropping this the week of Valentine's Day, we have gotten a quick little list of restaurants, Black owned, that you could take your partner to. One of them is Joyce.
Uh-huh.
That one is in downtown LA.
Yeah, they have it's like Southern comfort food.
Oh yes.
Yeah, Southern
Yes.
comfort food. The decor is real cute. It's a very nice space and the food is real good.
Yeah, I love it. Like, great place to take pictures at too.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And they usually have like a the last time we went, they had a vendor in there selling
yes,
art.
Yes,
Yeah.
they had art being sold. It was really nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Our second one is Alta.
Alta Adams. It's on Adams Boulevard, kind of near Crenshaw. Another black-owned spot. Another, I would say it's kind of like traditional American food.
Yes.
But like elevated.
Yeah, and don't they have a list of wine?
Oh, they do. Yeah, they have black-owned wines there. That a specific list of black-owned wines. Their cast iron cornbread.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
girl. Yeah.
So good. So good. Yes. The Hilltop.
Oh.
So they actually have like what is that? A morning, like a coffee shop. So they have the coffee shop that's owned by Issa Rae. It's right there in Inglewood, but their downtown location is more of like a restaurant vibe. So if you want to do something in the morning, take it to a cute coffee shop. They be having music playing. They still have food. I like the beignets. And that's a cool place to chill or just go to the restaurant in downtown.
Yeah. And then Issa Rae also just opened up Somerville. It's on Slauson. And it looks very cute. I haven't been. You haven't been, right?
No.
So, but it looks very cute. I've heard that the food is pretty good. I tend to not go to restaurants when they first open, just to like let them get the food all the way together. So, I'm probably going to try to go next month or so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They're pretty new.
Were those all the places?
Oh, Post and Beam.
Oh, Post and Beam. Post and Beam is near Crenshaw. It's right in front of the Magic Johnson Theater. If you know, you know. Now it's a Cinemark, but it will always be Magic Johnson. So it's in the same parking lot as Magic Johnson. I love their catfish. I love their whole cooked fish. Oh, it's so good. And they have brunch also. The mimosas do be hitting. They have an outdoor space. They have live music very often. And it's a real cute, place in the Crenshaw area. So
we put y'all on. So you got somewhere to take your partner this weekend. If you need a place, just reflect back to this video.
Yeah.
Yep.
And girl, if he don't take you nowhere, or them, if they don't take you nowhere, write us about it. Write us about it. What's our email? A doubledose@gmail.com. Please, our email will be in the description or in the comments. Please write us about, what's going on in your life. Do you want advice on anything?
Yes.
Do you want to just vent about something?
Yes.
Let us know so we can read it.
And then you guys could also DM us. It's only us two who have access to our Instagram. So any DMs, tips, questions, concerns, like, you could let us know in the DMs and we'll cut out a segment towards the end to address it. Yeah. Of course, we won't say any names or identifiable information to make you feel comfortable.
Unless you want us to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those are resources. Off to our nugget of wisdom.
Okay.
I feel like we low-key hit it, though, at the end of our discussion, where we was kind of just saying, like, not to reflect on other people's relationship, right? You have to tune into what you need and what you want.
Yeah.
And find a partner who's compatible with that. No one is going to live your life or be in your relationship other than you and that other person. So you have to hone in on your strengths, on your confidence, and be okay with the decisions that you make.
Yeah. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Oh, I like that.
Don't be comparing.
Don't be comparing. Comparison is a thief of joy. I like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, thank you for joining us for another episode of A Double Dose. We really, I feel like we just have to take a moment to be like, we appreciate you guys.
We do.
Every single one of you who watches, my family and friends who who quote us. Last night I was hanging out with my friends and she said, "What did you say in your episode? If it's not giving growth, it's giving I gotta go." I said, "Yeah, girl, period."
I love it.
I love it. So thank you guys so much for watching. We love you guys.
Yes.
So yeah, email us please. Your advice, your rants, your whatever.
Yes.
And it doesn't always have to be directly about therapy. It can be about anything. We're gonna try to give you our most healed girl advice. However, the Lord is still working on me. I don't know about you. But yeah.
Work with us.
Yeah, work with us.
Thank you guys.
See ya.